Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ancient Black Spirituality. I'm Jada.
I'm Jaylene.
And today we're going to be talking about a pretty interesting topic. We're going to be taking it a little bit old school and doing a whiteboard lecture. So we can actually write and kind of show you guys a little bit more interactive. So today we're going to be discussing holy numerology, metaphysics, and numbers. So what we mean by that is that metaphysics, as I've discussed before, the definition of metaphysical is our anatomy in relation to Amma, in relation to the divine beyond this earthly realm. So how our anatomy allows us to connect with divine. So that's what I mean when I'm talking metaphysics. So these numbers are related to our anatomy as well. And today we're going to be discussing some pretty specific numbers. We're going to be discussing 4 different numbers. We're going to be discussing number 3, 33, 7, and 12. So these are the numbers we're going to be talking about today. And I will just get started with discussing the number 3. So I'm going to clear the board. So let's clear the board so we can discuss number 3.
Do you have your notes and stuff?
Yep. So can you bring it? Oh, can you just maybe pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
number 3. So you're gonna have to come closer.
Okay.
This is no.
But should
You just need to grab the whole computer.
Should I move this chair up?
Yeah, or just put it right here. Try putting it here.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Relax.
Thank you.
I thought it was looking fine, but yeah, it needs to be closer now.
Do this. Okay, that's way better. Okay. Sorry, guys. You guys can see that way better now. Okay. So number 3. So when we think of the number 3, what do you guys think about? Try and say it to yourself, or try and put it in the comments down below. I know this isn't a live video, but you could still, as you're watching, just let us know what you were thinking as you were watching it. So what does the number 3 represent in like the biblical context? So this is the Holy Trinity. Which is supposed to be in Christianity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But African spirituality, we came up with the Father, Mother, and Child. That's what the Holy Trinity, the first Holy Trinity was the Mother Goddess was included in that. So how does this Holy Trinity relate to us anatomically? So I'm going to start by, there's 3 different ways. I'm going to start by discussing, the 3 units of the brain. So we have 3 main units in the brain. You all can't even see me. Okay. Turn it a little bit more. No. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So these 3 main units are the forebrain.
Yeah.
The midbrain. And the hindbrain. Okay. So, I'm sorry, I have to look at my notes. Let's see.
Come on, brother.
I don't have it right now.
I thought you put this on the writing.
I did, but okay. So our forebrain, yes. I'm sorry, I be forgetting stuff. So the forebrain is responsible for
Dude.
voluntary actions, thinking, and processing. So I'm using my forebrain as we speak, just to write. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
this is allowing me to do the actions that I want to do. This is the part of the brain, and this is like in the front of your brain. That's why it's four. So this is where when I'm telling something in my brain is signaling that I wanted to open this marker up and that I wanted to write these things on the board. So that's allowing me to do the action that I tell my brain that I want to do. Okay. And then as for the midbrain, this is what connects the forebrain and the hindbrain. Okay. And this is for motor control, eye movement, and processing vision and hearing. So motor control is our movements. And that's what's allowing us to see and hear what's going on. Okay. And then our hindbrain, this is the lower part of the brain stem. So this includes the cerebellum, pons, and medulla. And this helps us regulate our unconscious. So this is kind of really interesting because the things that we do unconsciously is what the hindbrain is responsible for. So regulates our breathing and our heart rate. So the things that we don't have to think about, our hindbrain is thinking about it for us. So this is quite interesting that we see this within our brain, and then we see this number 3 throughout the Bible and the Holy Trinity. This is a Holy Trinity because without it, we wouldn't be living. So this is one of the metaphysics of the number 3, and hopefully you guys are kind of understanding this. And again, I am writing an article on this, which will be on my academia page for you all to get more information. But we're just trying to kind of give you the basics as of right now. So hopefully this makes sense. Like this is a Holy Trinity within our brains that we wouldn't be able to function without. This is what gives us our everyday processing. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit deeper with it. Now we're going to go to a little bit more of a deeper level. So this is more physical. So this is physically what's in our brains, right? These are physical parts of us. But now we're going to discuss something a little bit deeper. So another metaphysics of the number 3 are the 3 planes that we exist on and that aren't necessarily easy to explain. So here we will talk about the physical plane. The spiritual plane. And the astral plane. Okay, so the physical plane, this is where we are right now. On this earth, I'm in this physical being. This is me, Jada, in the physical flesh. So I guess we can just define this as flesh or body. So that's the realm that we're existing on. That's the realm that we're in as of now. But we also know that there's a spiritual plane and there's a spiritual realm that we also exist on that is a little bit more unconscious to us, but also is conscious at times. So I define spiritual as the things that we can't see, such as our feelings. This is what gives us our emotions. This is just what I think and how I interpret things. You can also add on in the comments as to how you interpret all of these things. So I think our feelings are within that spiritual realm. And the ancestors. So we can receive messages from the ancestors from that spiritual realm, as well as the astral realm, I believe, but we'll talk about that in a second. But the spiritual realm is where we reside and where we get our faith as well. So this is where our faith resides, our belief in a higher power, our belief in the divine and our understanding of it, and our continually trying to attain that level, a higher level of consciousness. Now, astral, this is a very high level. This is a level that a lot of us, or most of us, do not attain or are not necessarily aware of it. It's way deep within our subconscious mind. So the astral, I would define this as like when you're in your dream, when you're in your dreams, when you're in a dream world, or maybe also what is often referred to as the fifth dimension. So the fifth dimension is when you can close your eyes and you can see whatever you want to see, or you can be wherever you want to be. But the astral realm is also when your spirit goes outside of your body and you have that experience. So you're having an experience within that divine realm outside of the physical flesh. So our spiritual still resides a lot within the physical, but our astral is without the physical. Okay, so that's how I interpret that. So I hope that this is making some sense to you all. And also, again, give us your interpretations of these things in the comments and how you feel about the number 3. So now, lastly, for the number 3, this is going to be probably the toughest thing to try and explain, but I'm going to do it. So, okay. So lastly, we also see the number 3 in Jesus, in the death of Christ. So he died and then resurrected. Three days later. Okay, so let's just start there. So Christ died at the age of 33, which will be discussed later. But he resurrected 3 days after his death. Okay, so what does this represent metaphysically? Metaphysically, again, is anatomically within us with the connection to that astral divine realm. So this is three days of dormant Christos oil. So our Christos oil has been discussed on this channel previously. Please refer to those books, and you can also learn about this in my book, Ancient Black Spirituality, because this is very important. So again, I've discussed the sacred secretion. It's not much of a secret anymore on this channel. And so, me and my sister like to call it the hush hush. So when this happens, we get oil from our colostrum, which goes to our pineal and pituitary glands, respectively. They represent Mary and Joseph. That then goes down to your sacrum. And this is where the oil is dormant for 3 days. Okay, and then it rises back up, and we'll talk about that later. But this oil, anatomically, is dormant for 3 days. Okay, and this oil is what allows us and our ancestors to connect with the divine realm when it reaches your pineal gland again after the 3 days. But you have to put in the spiritual work in order for this to happen, and you cannot squander your oil through food, sex, drugs, anything else, etc. So this is what this represents. I hope this makes a little bit of sense to you guys, but it's a little bit harder to explain in a couple minutes of a video. But when you read the articles and the books, and also the Book of Wisdom and other sources you can find online, and print them out and really highlight and read. This is what we want to encourage on this channel, is for you guys to all do your own research as well and read a lot. Read everything and as much as you possibly can. That's what Malcolm X taught us. Read anything you can try and get your hands on as much as possible, okay? So the information is out there about this. This is what is anatomically within you. And this is what that number 3 represented in this biblical story, okay? And again, let us know what you think in the comments. So now I will let Jalen take over, and she can discuss the number 7. Come on. She's got it. She's just a little scared. Okay, do you want to discuss 33 first, since I just explained?
I thought you were going to do it. 33. I thought I was doing the 7 and something.
You're doing 7 and 33. I'm doing 12, and so come on. Don't be scary.
Good. You don't need me for this.
Oh my, you're messing up the video. Come on. Do the number
My
33.
handwriting's not like yours.
Okay, it doesn't matter. So this is going to make a little bit more sense. So we just said that the oil goes down and it's dormant for 3 days. So what happens when it rises back up? This is in connection to the number 33. Go ahead. You have.
All right. What? Okay, so
Write this down. Write number 33
okay, but
and what it represents.
okay, so let me explain. So where should I write it?
Wherever. Just go.
Make sure the camera's on. All right. So the number, why is this 33? So we have 33 vertebrae.
Yeah, so that's what 33 represents.
I thought there was other things 33 represented too.
Please, come on.
Okay. All right. So number 33 equals the 33 vertebrae.
You don't have to put an S on the end of it.
Okay. So Christ dies at age 33, and the Christos rises in your 33 vertebrae. So to resurrect and goes down, and then it says it stays dormant for 3 days. So everyone has this in them, and that's the 33. That's when Jesus dies at 33, and not just Jesus. Other people in the holy text have died at 33 before Jesus was created. So, what else did I say about this? It's difficult to explain.
Once it rises, so we already talked
And
about
once
3
it rises,
represents the
it
dormant
stays
days.
dormanted.
Once it rises, though, you rise it back up through your meditation.
Right.
Then it goes up to 33 vertebrae back to your pineal gland.
But what
and you
rises up
see
is
the crystals.
the crystals, which is what is the crystals?
Which you got from your well, it's what came from your colostrum also mixed with your sexual fluids.
Right.
Because you can't.
So crystals.
Well,
really,
I guess crystals is your sexual fluid.
Right. Really,
I don't
crystals is sexual fluid, which is kind of what Jim Carrey was saying.
That's what they. That's why you can also call it sexual alchemy.
Yes, he did also say that it also can be called sexual alchemy, and that is why it's not going to work if you don't abstain from not just that, but there's other pleasures that you partake in, like foods, drinking.
Yeah, alcohol,
smoking.
And then you also have to be on point with your spiritual
and you
work.
have to make sure all your chakras are aligned.
Yeah.
To really add it up. And then Kundalini has a lot to do with this
helping
adding up
push
and going,
it up.
And going with it, pushing up as well for it to
and we have a video on this channel on the Kundalini.
Yes.
Please look at this channel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
What else did I say?
You could talk about the number 7 now.
All right, number 7.
Write this stuff down, though. Like
I'm gonna erase that.
And now do.
So I know it must be difficult, but that's why it's important to study your body.
Right.
And get books on the body and the brain.
Yeah, there's some books you can find at the library.
That way you can find. We found a book too.
Yeah, so these books could be expensive because they're like textbooks.
Okay.
So please utilize your library. So number 7 now.
So number 7 equals a lot of things. So
right. So first talk about where do we find 7 in the Bible and holy text.
It's
on that other page you were just.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, you can find the number 7 in the Bible. And can you hand me my phone?
The 7 days of creation.
No. Yes, I wrote that down, but I didn't. Yeah, there was another thing too. So it can.
The 7 seals and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, but I want to focus on.
So now talk about it.
Okay, so there's the 7 days of creation, which is how the Bible really starts off.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about it. Okay, so the 7 days of creation is how it's basically it's the whole of Genesis of what it's about is the 7 days of creating this earth. And the Bible uses the number 7 a lot, and I forgot what the other one was. There's the 7 seals, but then there's also a lot of stuff in Matthews and Revelations about the number 7, the 7 signs, and then there's lots of other things. But so my sister mentioned 3 with the number 3. She mentioned the astral, spiritual, and physical. And so within that, in the astral, there's the 7 bodies. There's the 7 bodies. And then, what did we just talk about? Chakras, which is spiritual. And then we also have 7 glands, which is the physical. All right. Okay. Okay. So the 7 chakras. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, the 7 chakras. So, okay. Wait. So what should I? Okay. Let me start with 7.
Well, each chakra coincides with a gland. So put them together like how I did on that page for you.
Right. Okay. So each chakra goes with the gland. So
Right. So write it down.
I'm going to use a different color.
Yeah, use a different color. So each chakra coincides with one of the glands of our body. So see how the spiritual and physical are connected, like I said?
Right. So let's go down the list of the chakras.
Yeah. Write the chakras
So
down and write equals.
make sure you're make sure you're paying attention. So your root chakra is your reproductive glands.
Well, you don't have to write glands every time. Just.
Oh. Adrenal gland?
Adrenal. Yeah.
Huh? Adrenal.
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 Yeah.
Sacral. So the second one is sacral. Your sacral chakra. Is your adrenal gland. Then you have solar. Solar. Pancreas.
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 Pancreas. Okay. Then we have heart, which is thymus. Throat, thyroid. And then your third eye, which we already talked about, is your pineal gland. And then finally, the last one is your crown chakra. Which goes with your pituitary gland.
Yes.
So there's lots of different things with the number 7, but this is really important, the chakras and then the glands that it goes with. So this is really important when you're meditating because all of these go together and this is all what's in you. That's why it's important to study your body and to know. Some of you, nowadays it seems like it is more common to be aware of your different chakras and stuff, but it also goes with these glands here, and that's what the number 7 can also be known for. But another thing is So as far as the spiritual, also we could also say from from uh, from supreme mathematics, seven also okay. Seven also can create Ama. Well, if you Ama is Ama, God, whatever you want to call it. Seven also can equal that also for the number seven of what in the supreme mathematics. And high and also higher self. Okay, so let us know what you guys, what else, what like, what else you can think of when you think of the number seven in biblical terms or other holy texts that you notice it that I just feel like when these numbers a lot appear in the Bible, it does have a lot of metaphysical interpretation of of the different chakras and uh and it's very the number seven is very spiritual and the different and how we learned about the chakras for we know about the chakras for a long time, but I just think that yeah, it's important to understand these and you put it together. And this is really more so about how your insides work for the number seven. Just like how 33, that's your vertebrae. A lot of the stuff is just internal of how your body works. What other number do I have?
That's it. But you didn't talk about the seven bodies from that article.
Oh, the seven. Oh.
You don't have to write that stuff. You can kind of just show the article a little bit. No, it's over. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Okay, here's this article here. I never really, I don't know if I looked at this really. What's this lady's name?
Nice.
Tirtha.
Her name, the author is Tirtha Acharya. I could be saying that wrong.
So, yeah.
But this talks about the seven bodies
seven
of
bodies.
humans. So we have
it
seven
basically, we're divided into seven bodies. So basically, this lady says, or it's a lady, right?
Yeah.
So the first body is physical, which is what we already talked about. And beyond the physical, there's the second body. Oops. There's the second body. The etheric body. And the third body is an astral body, which is beyond the etheric body. So beyond the astral body, there is the mental body, and then the fifth body is the spiritual body, and after the spiritual body, it says. It's cut off.
Yeah. Just let me see it because they have a section for each one.
Oh, so the physical body, the etheric body, the astral body, the mental body, the mental body, the spiritual body, and then the cosmic body, and the nirvanic body is the seventh one. Okay? And so this article basically explains the 7 different bodies, and there's each section in here. You can get this article if you want to get this article. We like printing out different stuff, and so if you want to get this article and learn more about how the 7 different bodies work, and also again the chakras and all of this, it goes along with all of that to get to these different 7 bodies. So that's why all of these things kind of just go together. So this was the number 7, and there's just so much more about the number 7 biblical, and the number 7 is very reoccurring, and you see it a lot in the Bible, especially too. So this is one of the most ones that has like a lot of different meanings to it, but definitely chakras is one of them that is a reoccurring thing in all the holy texts if you read it correctly, and then as well as astral and physical. So yeah, that's all I had to say.
Good. So the last number we'll be discussing is the number 12. So you guys, hopefully you guys can take screenshots of this if you want, and all of this will be in my article as well. And yeah, printing out articles is really good. Just so you can physically have it and write on it. And taking physical notes is also really good to help you remember things a little bit better. Because as you can see, I have so much information I want to share that I can forget things easily. So I have a lot of notes. So now, lastly, we're going to talk about number 12. So I'm going to need my phone for this. Okay. So I have a photo on here that will help me. Okay. So number 12, what can you guys in the comments let me know? What does the number 12, when have you seen the number 12 in the Bible?
Disciples.
Okay. Jaylin got it right. 12 disciples. But I heard Reverend Ike say that the 12 disciples are 12 disciplines.
Yeah, that was also said in the book. Too.
Of our mind. Yeah, that was said in our book as well. So 12 disciplines of our mind. So this is really deep because we need to discipline our mind in order to get to a higher spiritual realm, in order to get to the astral realm. Okay, so we gotta really be disciplined to go through the secretion process and to fully become one with Amma. You really have to go through this. So in our brain, this is the 12 cranial nerve pairs. So these are our 12 cranial nerves. That's what this represents. So I'm gonna write each one out and just kind of let you guys know what each nerve represents or what each nerve does. Okay, so so we have the olfactory, this nerve helps us with our smell. And we have the optic nerve, which is our vision. And we have ocular motor, this helps us with eye movement. So this helps our eyes move around. And we got trochlear. That also helps with eye movement. And then facial is for our face movement. Vestibulocular is hearing and balance. Gloss. I don't even know how to say this. Pharyngeal, glossopharyngeal. This is for throat sensation, taste, and swallowing. And then our vagus nerve, I've heard of this one, is movement, sensation, and abdominal organs. And then accessory is for our neck movement. And lastly, hypoglossal is for tongue movement. So I say all this to say, hope we're not boring you guys. But
Wait, hold on.
the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
You only
6,
said 10.
10. Oh,
Yay for you. Where's
okay.
the other two?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, I'm missing 2 by accident. The trigeminal is facial sensations. Did I
Got
get
it.
this wrong? Yeah, trigeminal.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I don't even know if I'm spelling it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
leave it open.
Trigeminal. This is for facial. Face. And then abducens is for eye movement. Okay, so sorry about that. So these are the 12 cranial nerves, and these represent the 12 disciples, because when we talked about Christ, what is Christ within us? Christ within us is that sexual fluid, and the throne is the pineal gland. So that throne is surrounded by the 12 cranial nerves in our brain. Okay, and we have to discipline our mind, because our mind isn't necessarily our brain. Okay, but we have to discipline our mind, which would be kind of in the astral realm. We have to discipline the mental body in order to get to the highest level of consciousness we can be. But without these 12 cranial nerves, again, like I said earlier, about the three parts of our brain, the 3 units of the brain, we would not be having this physical experience. So the physical always, the whole point of this lecture is that the physical always coincides with spiritual and astral. Okay? Because, please take photos of this. Okay, there you go. So, I'm just going to end off with this as like the conclusion, I guess. So, I just want to make a couple more points. So we talked about all this to say that the physical, this physical realm that we're in right now, leads us to spiritual, which leads us hopefully eventually to astral. Okay, so they all coincide. So that's why it's so important to know about anatomy, because that will lead us to a higher consciousness with Ama, which can lead us to that full astral experience beyond only having physical experiences. And many of us have had spiritual experiences. You know, many of us have felt the presence of Ama around us, but when it's within you and you feel it, it's different. So that's what leads to this astral region that we're trying to get to. Because when you use all 3 of these things and combine them together at the highest level of consciousness and being, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, you will then get led to this astral realm. And the astral realm is where you want to reside, because that is where you can be at your full peace. And physical things will no longer, the things of the physical world and constantly having to, you will still need things physically to survive, but always having to have every physical desire at that moment isn't going to be necessary anymore. And so that's the point we have to get to, and that's where discipline comes in. And Malcolm X is one of the greatest examples of this, because he was living, you know, he tells us of the life he was living previously, before he became the spiritual disciplined man that he became, before he became Malcolm X. And his story is not only important because, oh, he was such a great leader. No, it's not just important because of his leadership skills, but it's important because of his discipline as a man and as a Black man. Because he is an example for all of us to become spiritually disciplined. His wife, Miss Betty, said, Dr. Betty said that that was the most disciplined man she knew and ever seen. Because when he got to that into that spirituality, he became very disciplined with eating habits, disciplined with his body, disciplined with his cleanliness, disciplined in prayer. So when we get more and more deeper and into consciousness and deeper into the spiritual realm, that will eventually lead us to this astral. So as long as we continue to combine our physical body and making sure we're taking care of this physical being, a lot of people want to say, well, the physical body isn't nothing, I'm just waiting till I'm dead. Well, that's not a good idea, to live a death style just to wait until you're dead. That's not really a good idea, because now you're not experiencing your full potential on this earth. Live up to your full potential through discipline. Because I'm 22 and I've made a lot of different decisions than the people that I've seen around me. And you make different decisions because you want to be better. You want to live a better life. And you want specific things for yourself spiritually. And I'm happy I learned about these things at a younger age. As we stated previously, we did learn about chakras and kundalini and all these things when we were young. So it's different. And so now we finally have the confidence in our voice to share it with you guys. I don't care if it's 2 people, 1 person, I don't care if it's 0, because eventually maybe someone will stumble upon it and it could help somebody. So this is what ancient Black spirituality is about, giving these lessons that can help us become more conscious and aware and control what we can control about ourselves. So we can control our eating habits. We can control our bodies, who we give our bodies to or not giving your body to. You can control when fasting is also a great method of discipline, because you can learn to control that hunger. Jalen wants to say something.
Yeah, I just want to say also, when you're doing these things, you're unlocking to these levels. When you're doing what you said about the fasting, even when you're reading the Bible, the Quran, the Rig Veda, all these different holy texts, and you, even when we try to take notes or to unlock it and see how it relates to our insides metaphysically, you're trying to unlock, even learning about your ancient Black spirituality, your in Black history in general, like what you just said about Malcolm X. Like, we study him as well, because you also need to study the ones who did it before you to understand, like the ancient Egyptians, and understand how they got to that next level of astral projection, to where now you can do these certain things to unlock, because it's never going to change, like the ways of how your body works and the ways that Alma already created it. It's been done, and it's never going to change how things are going, how things work. It's just never going to change. And so these are also steps that it just shows you, and it shows you in these holy texts. It shows you, our ancient ancestors showed you, these different leaders have showed us, and now I just think it's time to, now that we broke it down, I think it gives you a better understanding of what's what and where, and nobody's gonna be perfect, but there's also different things that go inside with this, to how you can achieve that too, like fasting, meditating, praying, reading your holy scripts, and trying to connect with the ancestors, and being outside, touching the grass, touching outside, being outside, and just being one with Alma, or with God, or whatever you choose to call it, But yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys learned something from this video and learned a little bit more about the numerology. My article will be up on academia really soon, and the article is going to be the same title as this video. Holy Numerology, Metaphysics, and Numbers. So check that out and check out our books on Amazon, Jada and Jalen Prasad. You could just look us up. And please try and be better. Try and see what you can do to better yourself, to get closer to the ancestors and to the divine in the astral realm. Thank you for watching.